What's up, everybody? Food Tray Mike here. Yes, what a great meal that's about to be uploaded. Love these Luden cough drops. When stress throws a curveball. A lot of times, through what's been going on, a lot of stuff with the world, a lot of changes in prices, everything that's been happening, a lot of stress out there, and a lot of times you can get information you're not expecting, information that can cause, extra stress, meaning by that curveball. Um, it definitely take a lot out of you mentally, physically, I'm sure. Um, like I said, I try to hold everything pretty strong. Well, a lot of times when stress gets on the table, you gotta stay strong to sift it. You can't get crazy. You can't get negative. You gotta try to stay positive. It's tough, but you just gotta kind of roll with it, and you gotta look at your options to, try to get out of that. Uh, Try to hit that curveball. You know what I'm saying? Which can be done. It's always done. For the people that watch baseball out there. I'm not a sports guy, but for the people that do, you know. So, definitely, definitely a lot of thought in that, A lot of times there's a lot of uncertainty out there, especially with each person, each individual, because, a lot of stuff happens from childhood to adulthood to late adulthood to, old age and whatnot. And you really start recollecting back and, you know, you start looking at things you should have changed, you could have changed, you would have changed, which of course isn't healthy because it doesn't really do anything for you. And I'm trying to get myself not to do that personally. I have a tendency to do that, but I know the right way would be to not do that, and I'm trying as such. But really, I think everybody needs to just kind of stop, think, maybe even write down some ideas, some 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 brain, you know, I was thinking you could always brainstorm, write down some ideas, write down some options of extra things you can do to combat what's bothering you. Problem is the subconscious and the conscious can work against each other. If uh, typically, if you're quite worried and thinking negative like myself, that's going to lay into the subconscious, and it's going to kind of, situations are going to arise, things are going to happen that probably are dictated by, by those negative thoughts. So, as my father once said to me, but many a times is always to stay positive, put a smile on, and do the right thing. And I never really, I always was like, yeah, when I was younger, I was like, and even into, the past, into my 30s, kind of felt like that a little bit. But now I realize that's kind of the way to be, the best way to be, because being negative isn't going to help. It's just definitely hard for me to be on that level, on that page. But I think making some steps of how to improve, that situation you're in, kind of branch out and try to fix it for the positive. Um, yeah, definitely think that's a way we can, a way that people can combat that stress, because it's definitely great. And a lot of times emotions, anxiety, and there's other types of stuff that happens. And when you're constantly thinking negative in that subconscious, you got to really. That's why the positive thinking is sets the stage for the subconscious. So it really works hand in hand. But it's tough. It's tough for me. That's why, like I said, I try to do the ASMRs and the lives and have fun and kind of de-stress through that. I appreciate all my subs, all my subscribers, anybody that watches me, my videos. I thank you all. I humbly thank you all so much. Really, really thank you all for watching me and whatnot. But I got a lot of stress going on. I got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm just kind of brainstorming out there and just thinking of some ways that I'm kind of dealing with it that are helping me right now that I want to just foreshadow to you guys. But really, how to take some notes, brainstorm it out, look at the positives, look at the negatives, look at the in-betweens, and, start picking things that you can do to strengthen the negative and to kind of just, blend everything together in a way that you can strengthen it along with, whatever processes of de-strengthening or negativity or hostility or whatever, you're going through. Because men and women alike, we're all going through some tough times, some tough situations. Prices are up. You know, like I said, I got hit pretty hard on my finance out for my buyout on my lease, and I'm paying a lot of money everywhere, and it's very stressful. And I know we're all going through it, and it doesn't help when other things kind of kick up. And but in the times, and if people are, excuse me, battling health, and they're going to go through your traditional Western therapy, always remember to look at those ways of how to strengthen the immune system, the lemon blends, the blueberries, different fruits, different vegetables, different things that can be ingested, and different things that need to be avoided, such as sugar drinks, milk. Um, so I mean, there's a whole, there's a lot of stuff going on, but little steps, baby steps. So one must need to write and to take notes and to re- excuse me, really lay out the framework of how we're gonna make it better. And that's really it. I just had a thought, and I figured I'd record it. You know, it doesn't really matter about the views on it. Some of my subs might get something out of it that'll watch it. Um, I don't really do the members only type videos and stuff like that. I mean, I can't unfortunately sit around all day making videos and stuff. If I could, then I'd be able to, you know, I'd be able to do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I have ways of de-stressing, but I got to try to cut back through things that I've been witnessing and seeing. I've been getting neurotic about some areas of my health and well-being. Um, I have a very addictive personality, so my vices are hard to would be hard to give up, though they may have to be. Um, but like I said, um, I would try my best to continue. And again, thank you all. And yeah, have a great rest of the weekend. And as always, oh, 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 yes, yes, yes. And I will be back. I definitely will be back. And I thank you all. And I hope you got something out of the video. Please let me know if you did. Um, I appreciate y'all and I love y'all. And as I always say, God bless, universally bless. Good brotherhood, good sisterhood, brother to brother, sister to sister, brother to sister, sister to brother. And I humbly thank you all. From the bottom to the bottom of the bottom of my heart, I thank you all. Definite thank you and definite appreciate. Amen.